Hi there, so I often get asked, how do you engage your core correctly? How do I know I've got the abs in the right place when I'm doing my workout? So this is just a short video to help you with that. A great thing to do is an all fours exercise. So on your hands and knees, keeping your back flat. You can check in the mirror if you are flat. Just letting your tummy relax to the floor and then really pulling it in towards the spine. You're focusing on this area across your hip bones. Pulling in, and this is engaging this transverse muscle around you that wraps around you like a corset. So just that pull in, feeling the lift. You may well feel a little bit of pelvic floor contraction as well, that's absolutely fine. But I would definitely practice this, maybe on a daily basis at first, just to really get that nice pull in and scoop at the abs, because what we don't want are the abs what we call doming out. So I'll explain that a little bit more now. So when you lay on your back, you want to be able to pull the abs in flat. So you're often thinking across the hip bones of pulling in. You know, if you've got a pair of jeans out of the dryer and they're feeling a little bit snug and you're trying to fasten them up, you get that pull in across here. So it's not a try and lift and pull everything in. It's quite subtle. And the place to feel it, if you put your fingers on your hip bones and walk just in there, you'll feel it squishy. If you do a little cough, you'll feel a muscle jump. That's the muscle we're trying to engage in. So as I pull flat, I can feel that muscle just like it's being pulled taut and flat. And that's the muscle I want you to try and hold. So you would start by seeing if you could hold it well. You can move the legs, making sure you're staying flat. So you've got your all fours one, then practice this one. And then as you get stronger, you're going to see if you can lift one foot off, keep that flat feeling as the second leg comes off. Do this nice and slowly, one leg down, second leg go down. So you'll feel two things if your abs aren't kicking in properly. Either your back will lift as the second leg comes off, or you'll feel your abs just dome out a little bit. Now we don't want that, that's downward pressure on the pelvic floor. It means our deep abdominals aren't engaging and supporting the spine as well. So at first you might have to have your knee more in over the chest to keep the abs flat, or if you still find that's a challenge, have one hand holding the knee as that second leg comes up. Keep it really holding as you place down, and it's really key to get this hold in, so do practice this, pulling in, check you're pulling in flat, and then eventually you will find you've got the strength to keep that flat pull in, not letting those abs pop out as your legs lift. Another thing to be aware of is the ribs. So I've got a weighted ball here. This just weighs about 2 kilograms, so that will be more than enough. I'm going to hold the ball towards the knees, and now thinking about my ribs. So my ribs here, I'm going to try and press them down. It's like somebody's just gently pushing the ribs down at the front. I'm going to let the ball start to reach back only when my ribs stay in the same place. So for me, it's tempting to let that happen. I'm going to really focus on staying down. So now I'm really stabilizing. I've got my hip to rib connection. This is something you get a lot of work on when you're on the reformer, but it's quite nice to do with the weight on the mat. So all my back ribs are down. I'm not going to let that move. I'm keeping the front ribs holding as I move the weight back. So you're doing it nice and slowly. So you could do these few exercises just as a little routine in itself to help you really feel the core engage, and then you will get so much more out of your exercise routines. Hope that helps.